I think I'd like the HR people to understand better the financial implications of the changes to funding on higher education institutions that we've just introduced back in 2012, and also that we are part of the same team. We're both support services. We should be working together to develop the institutional plan. I'm not sure whether they do or don't understand, but they wouldn't be as exposed to things like what the changes to HEFI grant funding, what the changes to tuition fees are, what those changes mean for institutions either operationally and on the cash flow and finances and funding. The funding issues are important for the sector because we have had our grants from HEFI have been reduced dramatically. For my institution, they've gone down by about 14 million over 4 years, and they've not been replaced to the same extent with tuition fees. So clearly we're having to think quickly. Institutions are like big liners and they don't change or turn quickly. We work with our HR colleagues we bring them along to budget meetings that we have in finance so they can better understand the pressures that our schools and departments are under, and we also get more of awareness of what vacancies might be coming up, what posts are going to be held, what posts are going to be filled, so we can build those into our budget monitoring papers. Well, in my presentation I'm going to be explaining how universities were funded pre the government's white paper on putting students at the heart of the system, which was largely grant funding with a small amount of fees, talking fees around about 3,400. Now it's totally changed where we're now more or less all fully funded by tuition fees, being allowed to charge up to £9,000. Well, we'll need to work much more closely with HR, and we need them to help us with their support and advice and the knowledge as to what we can and can't do in terms of looking at job descriptions, employing staff, because we need to be much more fleet of foot. In my own department, we've had one reorganisation last year, and we're probably going to be looking at another mini reorganisation and be working with HR to help us to be able to explain to staff why they need to be doing other tasks. Because I do find, particularly in my section, where people are quite long-serving members of staff and job description, it's not on their job description to do something differently. Well, we've been working with HR to try and develop more generic job descriptions rather than just have any other duty sentence at the end, so we can actually move people around the department where there are peaks and troughs. So somebody might be invoicing our students one day, and then maybe a couple of months later it's admissions time, so we'll move them over to admissions and help on that in that section. Again, I suppose it's working with finance to understand what we can and we can't do, because it's all people. I mean, 60% of our expenditure are staff costs, so really we need to be working with HR to find better ways to deliver what we are delivering, be more effective, be more efficient. I mean, sometimes the dreaded word outsourcing might crop up from time to time, and that's something we'd have to look at with them as well.